Welcome back. We're going to try to do the stackable robot design again and hopefully have at least slightly better audio this time. What you see here is the landing screen for Tinkercad after you start a new 3D design. The first step in making our stackable robots is to come over here and select a box. There's a couple things you can do from here. You can click on it and then click out here to place your box. Or you can click and hold and drag. Either way gives you a chance to put it into the model space. I'm going to delete that second box. Now that we have our box, which is what we're starting with, I'm going to zoom in and click on one of these little white corners down below. The size we're going for is 26 millimeters by 26. So you can just click on the white spot with the text, like there, and put in your numbers. Another way is to drag and move them around, but I often just try to type in the text. So for our robot, it's going to be 26 millimeters wide by 26 millimeters deep, and the height is going to be 16 millimeters tall. And if you don't click on the text, sometimes pushing buttons will make it zoom and do other things. So here I'm clicking on the text where it says 20. While it's gray, I can push 1, 6 on my keyboard and click. There we go. Next, we need to make our head piece because this is the main body. So I will take this guy again. I'm going to click and there we go. Now it's selected. It's in this space. You see that blue circle on the bottom? Woo, I'm going to sneeze in a moment, but that blue circle on the bottom is telling us what plane, what flat space it is going to. I want it to be on top of my body, so I'm going to click right here, and this green plane right here, it shows me where, if I move this around, it's going to stay on that green plane until I unselect it or click somewhere else like this. Now it'll just work with the normal 0 plane for the rest of the model. The size of our head, we're going to go with, first I click the corner, then I come and click the text. This is going to be 16 millimeters. You can also push tab for your width and depth. And we're going to do 16 again there. I'm going to hit tab again. There we go. That's me hitting tab back and forth. Now that we have the width and the depth, we want to adjust the height. So I'm going to click right there, come to the text box, and I want the head to be 8 millimeters tall. I'm going to push enter, and there we go. At this point, we have our body piece and our head piece. We want our head to be centered on the body for our robot. So if you click out here in space and draw a rectangle, you can select both parts at the same time. You can also click one, hold down the shift key, and click the other one, and they're both selected. The way that we're going to align our head is using the align tool, which is right here. You can also push L on your keyboard or click this button. I'll click the button this time. The next step isn't always necessary, but I think it's good to get into this habit. So they're both selected. These dots are going to tell the parts where to move. It gives you a preview of each one. But if we click one of these two pieces, I'm going to go at the bottom, gives us a different set of dots. That's going to keep this bottom part where it is right now and only move the top part. Now, to get the head centered, I want this center dot and this center dot. Now that they're grayed out, that tells me that it's aligned. And the next step for this part is to group it. I'm going to deselect. You don't have to. And now nothing is selected. If I only select the head, group button doesn't work. If I only select the body, group button does not work. That's because I only have one thing selected. So I'll draw my rectangle again, and now the align button and the group button are usable. So I clicked the group button. Now I'm going to click in space. When I select this body, it is now one body. The next step in making the main body is to make the hole for underneath. So I clicked the box. Now I'm going to come over here and click again. For the, I call this the body hole. Let me look. Oh, the base hole, because it's on the bottom. I want this hole to be, as you saw, I clicked on the white corner again, turns it red. This is going to be 18 millimeters, so 1/8, pushing tab, 1/8, pushing tab again. There we go. The height of this, I have to select this dot box up here. The height is going to be 10 millimeters tall. And then I'm going to put, well, you don't have to push anything. If you give it time, it should auto adjust for you. So now this is the right size, but I want a little head for my base hole. So same thing. Actually, I'm going to delete this one, do that again. Instead of what I did the first time was I clicked and dragged. So right now I'm holding down the mouse key and it's dragging around. And then when I let go, it's going to put it where I tell it to. So we're going to adjust the width, depth, and height on this. Now this one, since it's the top one, is the wrong part. My bad, everybody. We're going to come over here and get a half sphere. So instead of clicking and holding this time, I'm just going to click once and bring my half sphere out here. Put it on top of my whole part. And as you can see, it is a solid. It is not a hole. It is currently a solid. We're going to change the size, and then we're going to come back and turn it into a hole. I'm going to deselect it just for fun. Click on the corner. So this one is going to be 18 millimeters by 18 millimeters. And we have to adjust the height right there. I think this is 8. Yes, 8 is what I've been going with. So before we turn them into one object or anything, let's draw a rectangle to select them both. Use our align tool, which is right here, or press L on the keyboard. We'll go, I want to show you guys what it does otherwise. So I'm going to move my sphere all the way out here. Instead of clicking on one after selecting a line, I'm just going to use what shows up. So here's a line. Last time I clicked on the base and it gave me a different set of dots. This is what happens if you do not click on one to keep it in the same spots. And hopefully you noticed that right here, this is grayed out. This is grayed out. It's because it's already centered. So if I wanted to move a different part, I could, but that's not what I'm after. So if I click a grayed out align spot, it turns off the align tool because it's already done the work. Now, right here, we have a hole and a solid. I'm going to click on my solid, come over here to, what is this called? Oh, I call it part properties, but I don't know if that's a technical term, but it's a hole. Now, select both of them again. I'll use click, hold down the shift key, click the other one, press group, and there we go. This is now grouped. So the last part of the body is to select both of these, go to the align tool or press L. I want to click on my main body, center the hole that way, and center the hole there. One thing to keep in mind is sometimes at certain angles, these vertical align tools will look like the lower align tools. It's hard to replicate. So zoom in, zoom out, change your view to make sure you're clicking on the aligned spots that you actually want. And if we look at the bottom, it now has, oh no, it doesn't have a hole. Now that I have both of these aligned, I'm going to group them. That turns the hole into an actual hole inside of here. And that is the body for our stackable robots. Next, I am going to move on to the arms.